So this might be a bold claim, but I think the Beats Fit Pro are the best earbuds Apple ever made. Not just because they're amazing for Apple users, but because unlike almost all other Apple products, the Beats design team is aware of some of the amazing technologies that are not Apple, like USB Type-C, Android support, and stemless designs to name a few, which is nothing against Apple. Apple makes some amazing products, but it's nice to see some cross-pollination here, giving you a pair of earbuds that is really across the market going to be very satisfactory. No matter if you're an Android user or an iPhone user, the Beats Fit Pro are possibly going to be the best earbuds for you. Because Beats was purchased by Apple, you kind of get the best of both worlds, the non-Apple world and the Apple world. For a while, Beats didn't have really anything in terms of wireless earbuds, and they kind of started to fade away. Like, their brand wasn't as big as it once was. But we're starting to get some really great things out of this, like the H1 chip, the ecosystem support within Apple, and some amazing active noise cancellation technology, among many other things that make the AirPods the best-selling earbuds on the market. So now bringing a lot of that stuff to a more Android-friendly device, and with drastically different design, I think this is a very impressive pair of earbuds, and honestly, one of the most exciting this year. So why do I say that these are better than the AirPods Pro? Well, there's really three main things we're going to be talking about in this video. One of them being the design, which is obviously very, very different. The second one being kind of a bundle of the microphones, ANC, and sound. You'll see what I mean by that in a second. And then the third one being the software compatibility features, like that kind of all bundled together. And while I want to get into some testing and analysis, because honestly, there are a lot of things I really like about these, but a few that I'm not the biggest fan of. But I want to first start off with what's actually different about these, specifically comparing them to the AirPods Pro. And I want to talk about the design, again, breaking it down in three subcategories. The first being what I think these do better than the AirPods Pro. So the first thing, when you look at the design, the earbuds themselves, I think, look better and feel better than the AirPods Pro with this little wingtip instead of a stem. So I think the stemless design, although the AirPods stem, I know it's iconic, people love it, personally, I think it looks better if you don't have that stem. And so lots of people recognize the Beats logo, so it's still going to be a really nice looking pair of earbuds. And unlike the AirPods, you also have a lot of different colors with these. So personally, for those reasons, the lack of stem, the little fit here, the Beats logo, and the different colors, I think that these are going to look better, and I think a lot of people will agree, compared to the AirPods Pro. But you can take a vote below, and let me know, what do you think of these as far as aesthetics go? But besides aesthetics, the other main difference here is going to be the fit and comfort. So I've always really liked the AirPods Fit. They're always very comfortable in my ears. But one drawback for me was that security. If I'm running, if I'm doing something more dynamic, it's not unlikely that they would work their way out of my ears. And being that so many people have all different shapes of ears, obviously, like, that was one of the big reasons that the Galaxy Buds and the Galaxy Buds Plus were a strong recommendation on this channel. Like, they had those wingtips that could perfectly fit anybody's ears. And now, with this new wingtip design that's actually flexible, so you don't replace it, you just bend it to whatever, like, you put it in your ear like this and you twist back, and it kind of goes right up into this little crevice on your ear. I don't know terminology with medical stuff, but it seems to fit very well on a lot of people. On top of that, it's incredibly secure, and I think this is what the Pixel Buds were trying to do, but I think the Beats Fit Pro just really mastered it. And I mean, I can't emphasize enough how comfortable and secure these earbuds actually are. Now, I know some people really liked the Power Beats from a couple of years ago because they had that ear hook. I would argue that if you really like those, I still recommend trying these. It's not an ear hook, but I think it's just as secure, if not more secure, and a lot lighter and smaller. Now, some other things that are very different about these, another one is the physical button on the outside. Personally, I think this is better than a force sensor, because if you're outside running or working out and you have gloves on, like, force sensors are kind of small and finicky. A button is something easy to press, easy to locate, and it's one of the reasons I've really liked the Jabra earbuds on this channel for a long time. Now, granted, I think the Jabra button is slightly better than this, just because when you put these in your ear, it's very easy when you're new to these to push the button when you're trying to adjust them. And on more than one occasion, I've accidentally hung up on phone call when I was adjusting the earbuds. But once you get used to it, that button is incredibly useful. I think it's really the right thing to have on a pair of earbuds, especially something that's meant for working out when your hands might be sweaty, they might be too cold for like touch sensors, or if you're wearing gloves, it's just the right way to do this. The buttons allow you to press once, twice, 3 times, or press and hold for different controls, but unfortunately, you can't customize them at all, and there is no volume control with that. But moving on to another thing that these do better, and I know I'm big long list of physical design things that I think these do better than the AirPods Pro, which, to be fair, I like the AirPods Pro, but these charge by USB Type-C. And I don't care how far you're into the Apple ecosystem, if you have like a MacBook, an iPad, like, you already have a USB Type-C cable. And if you have literally anything that's not made by Apple, you have USB Type-C cable. So Type-C, I think, really is the right way to go. And these are Beats, so it's no surprise they're Type-C, but still a huge win that they're not like a lightning cable. And speaking of charging, the battery on these is also pretty good. You have 6 hours in the earbuds and 18 hours when you include the case. I was surprised it wasn't a little bit more with how large the case is, but 24 hours, that's a solid battery right there. I think it's also worth noting that these are cheaper than the AirPods Pro, but of course that depends on sales. These are starting off at $200. The AirPods Pro were originally $250, but being 2 years old, they're about the same price right now. Now, there are some things that are similar to the AirPods Pro. I don't want to get too into these, but really the geometry of the ear-facing side, so like the silicone tip, the proximity sensor, the shape of that, it's a lot like the AirPods Pro, which giving you a lot of the same functionality there, the same sensors on board that give you like the 360 audio, spatial audio if you look around, and these also have IPX4 water resistance, again, the same we're seeing on the AirPods Pro. However, I was expecting a little bit better than IPX4 on a fitness-oriented pair of earbuds, but I mean, I guess like IPX4 is good for sweat and rain, and they probably figured you're probably not going to be jumping into water with these, which I hope you're not. And while I've been saying that these are better than the AirPods Pro in a lot of ways, there are two main things that the AirPods Pro just did best. One of them being the case, the overall size and shape of it. You can see this case right here is absolutely huge, especially compared to the AirPods. So that's a bit of a downside, especially since you're not getting like a massive difference in battery. And the other one, the huge one, like I don't know, this one blows my mind. I don't know why they did this. So in 2021, for a $200 pair of relatively premium earbuds, you're not getting wireless charging. I don't know why the case doesn't have wireless charging. That just blows my mind. With a case this big, it'd be so easy to fit a coil in there. They didn't do it. Who knows why, but that's a huge drawback there. So now getting into the next category of the sound, the ANC, and the microphones. Starting off with the microphones, this is something the AirPods have done well for a long time. So this is what it sounds like indoors in a studio environment if I was talking on the phone with you using the Beats Fit Pro. So leave a comment and let me know how the microphone sounds. Honestly, this is no surprise that they sound great, but let's go outside in a louder environment and see how they handle noisier situations. All right, and this is a microphone test outside with some cars behind me, a little bit of traffic here, also a bit of a breeze. So as expected, these still sound really good. Now, as far as the sound quality goes when you're listening to music, overall it's very typical of a pair of Beats, although slightly less bass heavy. So what does this mean? Well, Beats usually have powerful boomy bass, and although this bass is a little bit less powerful than most other Beats out there, so a little bit less forward and therefore a little bit less bloated, which is a great thing. These sound cleaner, but the bass is still not quite perfect. Like it could be a little bit tighter. The low mids are still getting a little bit eclipsed by a lot of the lower bass frequencies from that frequency bleeding and just a little bit of congestion down there. But otherwise, the bass is definitely a big step up from the other Beats as well as from the AirPods Pro. There's also an emphasis on cymbals, so you're getting a bit of a V shape here, where you have a big emphasis on bass and then some pretty obvious highs as well, although the highs, much like the bass, lack a little bit of detail and clarity. So I think it's needless to say that these are far from analytical earbuds, and they definitely suffer from a little bit of congestion, but they sound overall definitely fun and vibrant and ready to go for a lot of workouts. They're less bloated than a lot of the Beats from the past, but also much better bass from the AirPods Pro. So I think anybody who liked the AirPods Pro is really going to like these. It's definitely a big positive right there. For the price though, to be honest, there are better sounding earbuds out there. Like for example, the Sennheiser CX earbuds sound great and are selling at about half the price of these. But to be honest, the sound quality is not necessarily the focus of Beats. We all know that Beats are really not meant for audiophiles, but rather for commuters and athletes and gym goers and anybody else who wants a stylish pair of earbuds that is both comfortable and secure enough for pretty much anything you're doing. Nowhere in that description did I say the best sounding earbuds out there. So, with that in mind, they sound a lot better than a lot of older Beats did. There is, however, one big issue with the sound quality that I found with these, and maybe it's just this pair. I haven't tested other ones, but I suspect other earbuds are going to have the same issue, and this is an issue with a continuous crackling sound. So if you put these in your ear and have no music playing, you will hear a crackling, and if you play more quiet acoustic music, again, you are going to notice that crackling. If you're listening to more full music that has a lot going on, obviously it fades away and you won't hear it, but I found that this is not something that is related to ANC, it's not related to what phone I'm connected to, it's not related to any of that. No matter what, I can't seem to get rid of the crackling. It's something that bothers me. Maybe it won't bother you, but I wanted to include this in review just in case it happens to your pair as well. So overall, the microphones are great, the sound quality is a big improvement, the active noise cancellation, well, I'll just put it as simply as I can. I tried these next to the AirPods Pro, and I can't tell a difference. They're both incredible when it comes to active noise cancellation, and if you've seen any of my other comparisons on this channel, the ANC of the AirPods Pro has always been, if not the best, at least very, very close to the top of the industry. So you're going to get some industry-leading ANC on these. It's fantastic, blocks out tons of different frequencies, higher voices, lower voices, trains, planes, like no matter what's around you, these do a fantastic job of blocking that sound out. Now, getting into the next category of software compatibility features, stuff like that, obviously these are in the Apple ecosystem. And so you're getting all of the Apple type stuff. You have obviously Siri on here, a seamless switching between devices, but you're also getting a lot of stuff from the Android side as well. So there is an Android app available. So unlike the AirPods Pro, if you have an Android phone, these will not only connect, but also be customizable as well. Of course, you're going to be missing out on some of the H1 stuff like the native Siri and seamless switching, but still having that functionality is nice. These also have spatial audio, which is fun and cool, but personally I don't really use it. So if I have earbuds in and I turn my head and like the balance changes or like if the left right's changing, it just sounds kind of weird to me. It weirds me out, so I turn that off. But if you like it, it's there if you want it. These also, of course, have mono mode, so you can listen to just one at a time, maybe to extend your battery or something like that. But if you're worried about hearing your surroundings, they also have transparency mode, and it sounds, again, really clean and very realistic, almost as if you aren't wearing earbuds at all. Of course, they have an auto play, auto pause feature, and as I keep mentioning again and again, the big one is going to be that seamless switching between Apple devices. All right, so that's my take on the Beats Fit Pro. Overall, these earbuds are basically AirPods Pro with a better design, in my opinion, better bass, more colors, and more Android support. I think that honestly, they'll probably sell extremely well. But if you hated AirPods for their sound, their controls, or other Apple-y things, you probably aren't gonna like these. I personally think that I'll be replacing both my AirPods Pros with these, as well as my Jabras when I'm running, because these, like I said, are very secure. But these are absolutely not going to be replacing my Sennheiser earbuds or Master and Dynamics, which I'll use for casual listening because they have much better sound quality. But other than that, overall, I think that these are really a great pair of earbuds. I'm really, really happy that Beats is making this improvement here, moving in the right direction to get great ANC, great microphones, really great comfort and fit. I think that these are going to be a solid recommendation for everything except for that sound quality. But what do you think? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the Beats Fit Pro. What do you like about these? What do you not like? Are you gonna buy them? And as always, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm Mike O'Brien. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.